get after it. I can't play music and go live or I'll get copyrighted. So I have to, do that for a few seconds at the beginning. All right, well, if you're unaware, I've started a news program where I try to tell all the news. It's called the God Awful News because every day of this regime, this President Nero, President Thanos, and all the shitty people, Republicans that support him, are going to do nothing but create worse news, which will seem impossible every day for 1,460 days. So, that's that. But someone suggested something about good news, right? Or less bad news last time I was doing this. And I thought, that's a good idea. And there is a lot of other news. Now, it's not always going to be not bad, but there's a lot of news that doesn't relate to politics that, would be what we would be hearing if we didn't have such criminals elected to office in every Republican seat. All 53 senators, 218 House of Representatives, 6 Supreme Court justices that are completely partisan, have no attention to the Constitution, and 4,000, now one less, 4,072 Republicans in states. Thanks to Pennsylvania flipping one of their seats. Cheers to you, Pennsylvania. So this is the less bad news. I'm going to tell a story or two, perhaps a joke or two. I might end up taking you into the kitchen. Mr. Bradley's neighborhood, taking it, because that's where men belong, in the kitchen. And so I'm going to go in the kitchen like I belong, and I'm hungry, so that always helps me cook. And I've imagined some things that I've never created. They live in my brain only right now, but I'm going to go create those in the kitchen maybe at the end of this. So that's going to come at the end. Oh, sweet, John, what's up, cuz? All right. So funny, because it says I have one like and now one viewer. Okay, that's cool though. See, it's a private show just for you, John. This is my effort to try to make less bad news, or talk about all the other news that doesn't relate to the destruction of our country entirely. But a way for me to work out maybe some jokes, comedy, maybe tell a story that could work its way into a comedy someday, and then maybe finish up cooking before I take this. And so yeah, right on. Yeah, I know, and that's why I like doing this. But also, I'm in school with all these people who are so uninformed. They don't know one fucking thing about anything. And so in case someone watches my program that's highly uninformed, this will be a chance for them to hear all the news. All right, so, and I still, and just like when they're fishing for one fish, they catch others. While I'm watching all the news, I hear all the news, and not all of it is about how these traders are destroying our country. So that's what I'm doing here. So this is show number 1, and another thing I'd like to celebrate ultimately one way or another, and maybe perhaps here, but also just with this, I may stick with this over and over. That sticker, no talk heavy, brah. That's how that would be pronounced. And you get the idea. You don't need to be told what that means. I speak Pidgin as a second language. It is a respectable language, and so yeah, I know stickers are a thing everywhere maybe, but here they're really a thing, and I'm pretty sure, because I marvel at them and I wonder, that's gotta be a one-off. Someone created their own one-off sticker, because I just see so many that seem like that's gotta be, that wasn't some sticker that they walked into a store and they were just selling en masse, right? I'm guessing anyway. So I decided, I was just driving, I was like, oh, that's gotta be the first, because it's one of the things I wanted to do, amongst many other things. It could be its own freaking YouTube channel, just or best videos of local stickers. Seriously, you could go to other islands. I mean, they're all unique. The guy next door to me, a couple doors down, had a sticker next to his right next to the driver's side on his dark tinted windows in his lower little fast car. It just said, "All of a sudden," all of a sudden. He had to make that up himself. It's so great. Anyway, all right. So that's that. A lot of explanation at the beginning here. So, all right, let's get into the news, because I seek to inform you, and sometimes being informed can save your life. Bill Burr was talking about how he tries to avoid the news or whatever, but I find information helpful in case I don't want to die, which I don't want to. I mean, I have to someday, but I'd like to know whatever I can to keep me from dying, like tomorrow. It's funny. At some point, every guy, gets into his 50s. He's like, all right, I got to check my receipts. How much plastic could I have in my brain? How many concussions have I had in actuality? Let's try to count the concussions, because, I should be aware of that in case that comes home to roost. Images of smeared brain cells like we've seen from people who've died and had their brains examined, who have that concussion disorder. Anyway, all right. So let's get into the news. There's funny stuff, but let's start with something informative, helpful. If you don't know it, you need to go out there and get. One of the coolest things about honey is it lasts forever. They found honey in a freaking tomb in Egypt, 6,000 years old, still good. All right, so we got this major crisis, and of course, if we had Kamala Harris in office. Right now, we would have scientists, money, we would be directing energy and attention and interest and hard work at figuring out something that could have dire consequences. And that is our bees are dying at a rapid rate all of a sudden. Just in this last year, massive bee death, which is probably related to like Monsanto and, fucked up plants and pesticides and herbicides that are just evil, that have killed people here, hurt them. They've tested that shit here in Maui and a.k.a, and there's all these court cases and actual cases of people just being their lives destroyed by being next to one of these experimental fields. But anyway, who knows what the cause is. Of course, I wish we had Paul Stamets working on this, the mushroom expert, because he makes this mushroom food for bees that's supposed to really help them. And I wonder how that could be mixed in here. Probably the best interview I ever saw on Joe Rogan before I stopped watching Joe Rogan for the rest of my life. Going back, man. Once you commit to being a Republican traitor, I am never going to buy your product. I'm never going to watch your show. Oh, God. It's just, gross. Anyway, all right. I just drank some noni. I'm getting old. I got to start taking steps to not die. And if you don't know it, noni is potentially the cure for like 20 different illnesses. Science hasn't proven it yet. Of course, now that science is being destroyed, there won't be any studies on anything ever again, because everything in the Bible tells us, well, we need to know about science. If you've never driven through Utah, they have this science, and then with a big circle and a slash through it, and then, do you know God? Or something. It's just like, what? Anyway, those are the people running our country right now. I just want to say, I was going to do it on camera, but I just did it already. Oh, I want to express an insight about noni juice. Now, it tastes and smells like vomit. It makes you brave to consume it, but it's so good for you, from ass to mouth, and everything in between. It's long. If any the most knowledgeable, oldest Hawaiians of all time will tell you that shit is good for you. It'll cure shit, and take it anyway. So I just took some because I'm getting old. I can order off the back page at Denny's. So, and the bus is now free. And if you live here and you didn't know that, if you're over 55, public bus is free. It's so cool. Anyway, and that's Maui. So yeah, I'll probably do that in the future. Show you that I'm brave enough to drink noni. Oh, but the inside, it has this faint aftertaste, faint aftertaste that sort of resembles apple juice. It's the only thing not gross about it. And so, whether you spike it with a little apple juice or apple anything, I had this as a refugee. I've been given these little pouches of applesauce. So I put a little bit of that in there, mixed it around, and it made it way more tolerable. It's funny when you discover likenesses, like and I'm gonna go in the mountains soon because I'm finally getting out of the house, getting shit done. PTSD is fading away. I'm gonna get in the mountains and get some lilikoi, and it's just fascinating how lilikoi and grapefruit have this super similar taste profile, but you would only learn that by experiencing it, right? And I happen to have consumed like hundreds of pounds of lilikoi because there's so much of the mountains. I've hauled down 400 pounds from the West Side Mountains. It just grows spontaneously, wildly, and it has the most beautiful flower on earth. Oh, and here's a representation of it. And this is so cool because I've always said, check this out. I've always said, like, if I was an artist, which perhaps I am, perhaps my YouTube channel is in its totality a form of art. Anyway, or individual, I mean, I could become an editor and try to make fancy stuff. But anyway, I've always argued that if I was an artist, I could just make a whole, if I could paint things, like I see them, I would just paint lilikoi flowers for the rest of my life because they're the most beautiful flower ever. Anyway, someone did that, and they put it on this alcohol I'm drinking. Cheers to you. This is Hawaiian-made lilikoi cider. It's God, it's so great. Really does capture the essence of the aftertaste of lilikoi too. Anyway, check it out. This is an artistic rendition of the lilikoi flower. Okay, but if you look up pictures on Google or whatever, pictures of passion fruit flower, I mean, it'll blow your mind. But the thing about it is, it's this aggressive vine. Seems to have a cycle of life, right? It comes out aggressive, climbs up any tree, covers an entire tree or bush as if it's going to snuff it out, and then it just dies. It dies off on its own right before it kills whatever its host is. But anyway, so yeah, but it opens up in the day, closes at night. It's only good on the vine. Like, it would never be in a bouquet. It's never on a lei or anything like that. But it is, I think, the most beautiful. And if you look up pictures of it, and there's a couple different kinds, it's just sick with the purple and the tiny and the white and the black and the green. It's just, I mean, incredible. So, anyway, and I think that might be in a video or two. That's in a video of mine. I've walked by one, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But this is Hawaiian made. Look, see, it's got the flag on it. That's a Hawaiian flag. And so that's locally made. And this is not sponsored, but I would happily be sponsored by them or anybody. Okay, so if you haven't, there's this lady from Wyoming who just got booed mercilessly and who acted aloof and like Donald Trump. She's this Hageman lady from Wyoming who took out, so embarrassing. I feel so sorry for poor Liz Cheney, because even though Liz Cheney has shitty politics, she cares about the country to some extent, and the Constitution and the rule of law and common sense. And this dipshit Hageman beat her. But oh God, the other day someone made the suggestion. I don't know if it was Jimmy Kimmel or might have been Saturday Night Live. Anyway, when they suggested that she was George Santos in drag, who has dressed in drag. I mean, they're a spitting image for one another, and it's freaking hilarious. I'm just saying, it's hilarious. Once you, that's a forever joke, right? I love to try to make jokes where you can't forget them. That's a forever. Every time you see her face, you think of that joke because it's hard not to. Anyway, that's all we got, in defense for our country, is to make fun of these people. And hopefully, so the way people are rebelling in these town halls, I wonder, will the Republicans be successful at making it so we can't vote in 2 years, which is what they're working on right now, making it so the elections are fixed. But even Republicans, I don't think former Republicans will allow that, right? Anyway, so if you haven't heard, 23andMe is filing bankruptcy. And this brings up an important subject if you've never thought about this. And if you haven't rendered your DNA to somebody, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe it's not that important. Only because it's a highly personal thing, your DNA. And having that on record at some company in some digital database is now going to be up for sale, like data. And who knows who's going to end up with it out of bankruptcy. And to my point, right, there should be some sort of, like, that'd be a good place for a little regulation. Regulation isn't necessarily bad, right? This whole notion, we're going to deregulate, and that's just going to mean good. Deregulation equals good is just, I don't think people are that stupid anymore, right? Like in Louisiana, where the cancer belt is, when they hear that from the Speaker of the House who represents Louisiana, they're like, that doesn't sound good, deregulating, right? Which is one of the whole things, it's going to make us rich if we just deregulate, drill, baby, drill, exploit all the natural, the national parks, cut down the trees, mine them. Anyway, I'm sorry, my mind's blowing up. So 23andMe, DNA, maybe you don't want to give that away. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. If you haven't heard it, it's hysterical, but there's more and more of it. But boy, I've had it, ladies. I just love hearing these ladies swear. Oh, anyway, and I wish one of them would run against Little Mark Wayne Mullins, because he is just a really little man with a real complex, and he is just so far up Trump's ass and the Republican Party. We're about to hear him just lie and act. I mean, can you imagine? So, you've heard all this news about the Signal Gate thingy, the classified information sent out. I'm sure you've heard about that, and I'm not here to report on that. But of course, can you imagine, talking about that with somebody and them finding some fucking mental gymnastics way of turning that into blaming it on Joe Biden. We got to blame it on Joe Biden. It's just, it is dipshittery on display like no other. Just like when Hank said he's just lying on the tarmac and everything. And so it brings to mind that guy that was just interviewed by somebody, one of those guys at a Trump rally interviewed a guy who's like, well, thanks to Trump, I didn't know about the fake news. Now I learned about the fake news, right? And that's his whole thing. He learned about the fake news. And that was something to learn, right? And so this guy who learned something about the fake news from Trump, and ever since then, he's never trusted any real journalists, right? Which is, of course, part of the disruption that they hope to create in the flow of things. But so now we have these people, and we know the truth already because it's been reported, and we know that they don't know it yet, and they're being interviewed on the tarmac, right? Pete Hegseth trying to tell his ass from a hole in the ground, and then you go to all those dipshit liars. Oh my God, Kash Patel. What drugs is Kash Patel on? Holy shit. Oh, Kash Yap Patel. That's his real full name. I'm praying I'm praying to get somebody in Midas Touch or some reporter somewhere to use his full fucking name. Anyway, he just looks like he's on fucking some crazy amphetamines. Like he's on 50 milligrams of Adderall every day. His eyes are so bugged out, and he's so frightening to look at. And of course, they're not investigating any of this Signal Gate shit, right? The DOJ and the Attorney General, they're just letting it go. That they were on some app where you shouldn't have classified information. The best testimony was Pete Buttigieg saying, the lengths you would have to go to move classified information off of Department of Defense means of communication into another realm like Signal is hard to understand. Like you never do that, and anyway. So, all right. Enough on that. So these ladies. It all started with these ladies. The I've Had It ladies just reported that and I didn't know Moses Mike Johnson, they call him. I call him Little Dick Johnson, but they call him Moses Mike because he said that God told him that he's Moses. That's what he thinks. The third in command in our country thinks that God spoke to him and told him he is Moses. Holy shit. So that's concerning and funny. What a meek little man. Anyway, so and then there's all this suggestion and evidence by these ladies. I've had it. I love them so much. Reporting about how he's as they like to say, these guys that have the loudest voice against the LGBTQ community are often gay and hate themselves so much that they do this weird gymnastic shit. Anyway, so that's the suggestion. But also now with Mike Walls, right? The National Security Advisor, that he is on a gay porn site, and he calls himself Big Dick Bottom or something like that. And some internet sleuths have uncovered this. Potentially, I don't know what's true and what isn't, but it's kind of funny. And back to bees and honey. Stock up. I'm sorry, I never finished that thought. Stock up. Because bees are dying like crazy, and we don't have people in government who are going to be interested in science, because that's dangerous knowledge. You women, I didn't realize you're really putting a gap on men with college degrees, and I just see it as going to be real hard to try to put women back in the kitchen where I belong. Oh look, I found a couple more of my marbles. I've been looking for them. I found them this morning. I was doing my car. A couple more of my marbles, so that's good. I found most of them, I think. It's taking a while, but the brain's coming back together since the big fire. Cheers to you. All right, we're going to watch Mark Wayne Mullins, Lil Wayne Mullins. Boy, I wish it'd be one of my dreams to get into Congress just so I could hear him threaten me. Just because I'd be like, let's set a date and get in a ring, because I think I have 1 or 2 concussions left. He'll probably kick my ass, but it'll still be fun. Great way to fundraise. Because he's supposedly some kind of UFC fighter guy, but I think he's 5'1", and I just love to hear somebody call him Lil Wayne. But he really embarrasses himself here in a moment. I'm gonna play 90 seconds, right? How do you go through the mental gymnastics? How do you present yourself as a fool, just a public jackass, and blame all this shit that's going on in Washington? Still, right? On Joe Biden. It's all Joe Biden's fault. Somehow he did something wrong, like other than create like 3 times more jobs than any president in history, or bring inflation and unemployment from 10 down to 3%, and create an economy that was envy of the world, and produce more energy than has ever been produced, and oil. Not that, you know, I mean, I'm just saying, people are so misinformed, uninformed, but this is so great because still these spineless weasels just can't, they're so far from common sense. It's so great, and it's just like, holy shit. I couldn't wait to hear what he would say. Like, is there any contrition? Is there any taking responsibility? Is there any like, yeah, these guys fucked up, man. Pete Hegseth should be fired. You know, like, I mean, oh God. And then still they're not doing town halls no more because they're just, oh, this last one, this lady, oh, Victoria Sparks, just getting yelled at. And her insolence, still, they're just insolent because they're so bribed, so paid for, that they just can't, they just don't know how, I mean, and it's, their constituents are losing their fucking Social Security, and they're about to fucking, like, do something insane. They're losing their shit. And then they're like, you know, go, Elon Musk is such a smart man, or whatever, lie, bullshit. Anyway, but I mean, I think it all just says, every time you see one of these just insolent dipshit Republicans just getting screamed at, but still it just acts like they don't give a shit, and don't, it's because they're just so, their pockets have been so lined by Republican traitors that have whatever interest they have, whether it's anarchy or control, or it's just so many weirdos. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna watch Mark Wayne Mullins just make a fucking fool of himself this morning on Meet the Press. Lil Wayne Mullins. You know the guy. This is the guy that threatened what he called a mob boss, the Boston labor union leader guy. Oh something. The Irish guy. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. It's not perfect. I obviously have a very low tech operation here. Me and my staff, we have a low tech operation here. But let's watch this dipshit. Let's listen to the. It's so great. It's so great.
As a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, do you think it was appropriate for President Trump's national security team to be discussing an imminent military strike on Signal, which is a commercial app?
Well, what this showed was an open conversation that was happening, and I think it was a very thoughtful conversation, but there was no war plans that the Atlantic put out. What they did is they had a very successful attack against the Houthis. It's a terrorist organization that had been harassing our Navy since 2023. They attacked our Navy 174 times, and the Biden administration did nothing but sit on their hands. What the Trump administration did was take the fight directly to the Houthis. So what this conversation should be is, why didn't the Biden administration do something in the last 2 years instead of us being focused on this Signal chat, which there was no classified information given out.
Lie.
The conversation was a thoughtful conversation, and the attack was extremely successful.
You take me to the saying there was nothing classified. I'm going to show you some of what the Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth did text out. 12:15 Eastern Time.
Yeah, anyway. I mean, we all know what a fucking joke that is. What a liar. Joe Biden. It's all Joe Biden. Oh, Joe Biden. Joe Biden this, Joe Biden that. Blame Joe Biden. Oh, he was asleep at the wheel. Oh, he was busy being one of the best presidents in American history, who saved us from fucking hell. But now we're back in it. Anyway, that is comedy. If that ain't comedy, taking this shit that they're doing and then lying about it and then acting like fools as they continue to lie about it. Oh my God. And then to this point right here, like, why wouldn't you just say, yeah, we fucked up, and it was a mistake, and a couple guys should probably get fired for that. Like, let alone, I mean, locked up in jail. Anyway, if that ain't comedy, I don't know who got to write jokes when the world is that funny. But God, would I love to be a congressman and be able to insult him just because he's so insecure and he would want to fight. And that would be fun. Oh my God. Anyway, all right. Okay. It's just my personal opinion, but I don't think Will Smith is a very good actor. Okay. Just for the record. Cheers. All right. So stock up on honey because bees are dying, and we're afraid of science now. And we fired all the scientists because Nero Thanos dipshit traitor is in the White House. All right. Sorry about talking about that. Know the list. Sunny. Tell the Truth with Sunny. She got that list going. I've read it a few times. All the companies that paid for the Nazification of our country, and the authoritarian dictator that we have, the theocracy that has been created by some psycho-religious freaks that are freaking truly evangelical devil worshippers. Ain't nobody more like the devil than the Republicans in charge. Oh my God, like, it's just so obvious. I mean, I don't know the exact definition of the devil, but I imagine it pretty much runs parallel with everything that the Republicans are. All right. And I don't think it's fair. Because Musk is a wholesome, different level piece of shit than Nick Cannon, right? Sure, Nick Cannon's had a dozen or so children with several ladies and all that, and they have weird names. But I don't think he's a reprehensible human being like Musk. And I just feel sorry for Nick Cannon having to be compared to Elon Musk, because it just really does him a disservice. Anyway, you hear a lot of that, and it's just not fair. So you won't hear me doing that to the poor Nick Cannon. I think generally he's well liked, other than all his weirdness. Meanwhile, Musk is another situation altogether. And I think we're seeing, hopefully in the news, what I talked about, which is Musk is so unpopular, like he could spend $1 trillion in Wisconsin. And all that's going to do is make people want to vote for his candidate less, because really nobody likes this guy at all anymore for any reason. I mean, understandably, the whole Zig Heil, and everything else, destroying so many lives, dancing on the souls of others. If you think about it, Musk is, right, like what a sociopath does, a narcissist. They project everything on it. They think, well, if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to want to do it, then everyone else must be doing it. I got to accuse them of it, and they got to be guilty of it, because I definitely am, right? Like the bribe takers, the bribe makers, the fixers, Donald Trump, and Musk, right? He's taken all this money, and he's obviously committed fraud, waste, and abuse, or whatever, with the money he's been given to fly spaceships into space and to start Tesla, all that. There's lots of government subsidies, right, that he took, and he obviously misappropriated large amounts of it, most likely, all the while succeeding. But as he misappropriated that, he's like, oh, so that's how people can just rip off the government, because I just did it. So that's how he knows it's possible. But here's the thing. Government's job is to collect taxes and then spend it to service the needs of the community, right? It isn't, and the only reason there's any waste, fraud, or abuse is because people, humans, us American citizens, in all the machine, might have a tendency to commit fraud or produce waste or waste or abuse the power or whatever, right? And that's just going to happen. It's always going to happen. And it's understood in a basic economics course that businesses will always operate at a level of efficiency that is only met by government efficiency at about 70%, right? Government will always be like 70% as efficient as businesses are at executing its goals in whatever way because of the lack of competition and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just the way it is. And they're not supposed to be this, like the post office isn't supposed to make money. It's supposed to get us our mail affordably. And they do that. And we're so thankful, but they're going to try to destroy that and privatize it. No, the taxes everyone pays, we need that to go to make sure our mail gets to us and to make sure scientists are figuring out what's killing the bees to save humanity. If you don't understand, bees pollinate everything we eat. 75% of all pollination happens from these bees. They get moved around the country, and the honey. Anyway, so that's what some of the stuff going on. Like I said, it's not all good news, but it's the news that's not all Trump related entirely. Future news. Barron Trump will do an interview on Joe Rogan and create his own, whatever. He looks up to him, and he's apparently he's the reason that the Tate brothers were brought back by Trump to our country, who now have new accusations, but they're just such reprehensible human beings, and they fancy themselves, and in some cases, I can't believe it, people like perhaps Barron Trump look up to people like this and see them as some sort of example of men, masculinity. None of it makes any sense. And so it goes. Oh, here's something funny I lived at this house in Malibu, this estate. I rented a really shitty apartment for $475 a month from a guy who prostituted his property basically as much as he could. He had 15 horses renting space. He had 6 people renting on the property. He would have charity events there. He would rent it out for porno shoots. Funkmaster Flex was doing a rap video one day when I came home. The Knack and Rick Springfield were playing in the yard in front of my apartment when I came home in between a double. I was working doubles every Sunday, and because it was the Dolphin Ball on the property, interesting, weird property, and I'm gonna bring a camera there someday. But what the fuck? Where was I going with this whole freaking story? Oh, I remember now. So, but this guy fancied himself as a movie producer, and he helped produce some second-rate movie or daytime drama or something that had Corey Feldman in it, that was filmed in his house on his property, where I lived, on the property I lived at. So, and I remember seeing that because he had a VCR of it, and I watched that. I lived there in 97. Before I moved here, that was the last place I lived. Anyway, weird place to live. But I didn't know Corey Feldman was doing music. And I just finally discovered it. He's got a music video that's like 10 years old. And he does concerts. And boy, does he embarrass himself. And I just didn't know. I didn't know Corey Feldman was an aspiring musician. And it's hard to look at. It's the bad movie that you can't watch. The guy is he's embarrassing himself so much. And so it goes. He's entitled to do so. But it's a little bit funny. Let's see. Locally, our local marijuana laws are going to change. It's like they've conceded we're not going to legalize it, but we're going to make it super easy for locals so that all locals, if you it's basically like, a Kama Ina deal where if you live here, they're gonna make it like almost take nothing to get a medical marijuana license, and it might exclude tourists. You know what I mean? Um, which would be interesting, because that was the announcement in the news. They're gonna make it easier, and it's not hard now to get a medical marijuana license, to smoke weed, but they're gonna try to open it up. It seems like. Which will kind of open up. What I imagine this doing is creating more dispensaries and more farms growing it, and more people smoking it. What else? What else? Oh, I didn't know there was women's sports bars. And at first, I couldn't really compute women's sports bars, like because they had all these images of sports bars full of women, and of course, I immediately associated with, oh, okay, so it's a sports bar that's made for women to go to. And then I was like, oh, duh. No, it also means that it's a sports bar that plays women's sports all the time, which is interesting, fascinating, and super cool. And yeah, because, the popularity, right? The women's soccer teams kick ass, and women's basketball is now becoming super popular with these great women's basketball players. And so that's interesting. I didn't know that was going on. That was in the news. All this talk. Well, let's skip that. That's the bad news. We'll push that. You want to know what I was about to talk about? So I am. There was this interview. The founder of Substack interviewed Jim Acosta, and made me Substack curious. So I gotta get not only out of my own head here, That's what happens when you get PTSD. You just live inside your own head. But I'm getting outside of my own head and your apartment or house. And but also I need to get outside of my own small world on YouTube and get onto other platforms. I mean, I'm already making content. Might as well just put it in more places. And so I am very Substack curious. And there was this really good interview. Jim Acosta just got on Substack a couple weeks ago, and related his experience in this interview. And so I'll be curious to find out what I learned. Should I get my head out of its clouds, get it onto the ground, and actually start learning shit? Like, I need to be learning more stuff. Anyway, okay. And Blue Sky, I need to learn that. What else? I need to get a microphone too. Listen to Jim Acosta, who just tried to figure this out. He's like, I didn't have a good laptop or phone. I got a brand new phone and then a good laptop, and for his content creation, which he's been doing. And he's like, and he talked about traveling with his microphone, and I realized I really need to get a microphone. I'm pretty sure I plug it into my laptop, and then I never make content from my laptop. It's always just on this phone. But anyway, I gotta work on that. I agree. Anyway. So what else? The protests. Let's see. Oh, how about this for reading between the lines, right? Here's a story that hasn't been reported. How much generational wealth, right? There's, a lot of attention given to that. But how much generational wealth was in the Republican household, right? Before the Republicans came along with their huge hat in hand and just started ripping them off in every way they could and grifting off of them. And I mean, whether it's, oh God, there's just so much Republican garbage out there that you could be grifted from everything from those automatic payments being done to people who didn't know that's what being done, elderly people, to the the shoes, the guitar, the $100,000 watch, the Bibles, the NFT cards, the meme coin. Oh my God, a meme coin. So much theft, so much grifting, but inevitably a lot of money went into that shit, right? Which would have or could have gone to these people's kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, right? They just fucked their own families over by shortchanging them on what could have been their generational wealth by giving it to the shittiest con man that ever lived. And that's a story you're only going to hear here on the not necessarily bad news. Oh, by the way, I put the daily word in there and show just to be a whore to the algorithms, hoping that, breaking news, the word news, breaking, daily show, daily news show, all those things will trigger some, put me next to the Daily Show or to breaking news something, you know what I mean? So don't mind those words. That's just me trying to see if I can trigger the triggers. Whatever. Anyway, all right, what else? Oh, Wall Street is just starting to figure it out. Like, they just didn't want to admit it, but you're starting to see capitulation. They're starting to say, oh, shit, yeah, the economy's fucked up. Trump's going to run this into the ground. And then others are like saying, is that what he's been trying to do? Is it on purpose? He's trying to devalue the dollar, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Wednesday, when the stock market went up a little and then started going down, I think that was the inflection point. I don't think it'll ever get back to where it was on Wednesday, at least for a while. And I think there's going to be a lot of contraction. And, if you really want to manage your portfolio intelligently, I think it'd be safe for you to try to find all the companies that are in the crosshairs of the people protesting the corruption of our country. Right? Anybody that, like Sonny, and all the people that donated to Project 2025, right? Yeah. Just wait. Oh, and like you said, wait for the numbers, man. They're coming, and they're good. There's two things, all right? Let me explain the stock market. Real simple. There's two things that drive the stock market, okay? News and numbers, all right? Two things. These are two things that drive the stock market, wherever it's going. Right now, the news is the worst it's ever been in the history of our country. Okay, so the news is god awful. All right, and no sign of it changing for the next 4 years or 2 or whatever until Donald Trump just announced he's going to try to go for a third term. Of course, he ain't even going to live that long, but nevertheless. Where was I? That just blew up my mind saying that, thinking that. Let's drink a little bit of this. Got a little bit of this Lilikoi cider. Oh, look at that. Laid back. That could be the name of the show. Laid Back Lilikoi. The Laid Back Lilikoi Show. No talk heavy. I love all the different ways we talk in the United States of America. From Kentucky to Texas to Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina, New York, New Jersey, Boston. The market, man. It's so we know the news is gonna suck, and then numbers are gonna start coming in bad. They're already bad. Worst consumer confidence, consumer expectations, inflation's going up, unemployment's going up. Every bad piece of news you could have is coming through the pike. And then now earnings, less than expected. They have estimated earnings and profits and all that shit. And they're all going to come inside, So check your portfolios. Figure out where the holes are. Who's supported Project 2025? Who got rid of their DEI? Who's going to be susceptible to the tariffs? And maybe get out of those positions. You can always buy these companies back when the stock market drops 4, 6, 8, 10,000 points or however many it's going to drop. There will be a new bottom. And no one knows where and what, and at what point what will happen. Maybe like last time, it was real hard to call the bottom because all of a sudden Trump just went in and gave truckloads of money to Wall Street. Far more than he gave poor people like me who were on unemployment during this pandemic. He did that. And so it's going to be hard. But, cash doesn't disappear like your money in Tesla stock. And that's looks like it's going to keep going down. I mean, no one's going to buy a Tesla. Everyone's enjoying that, I think. And yeah, I mean, turns out you do a little zig how. It's not good for your business model. Can you believe it? Oh my God, it's so hard to understand. But these white supremacists really think that they can take it to that level. White inferiorists, excuse me, anti-nationalists. That they can take it to that level and have us be like, oh yeah, we'll just give you a pass on that. We'll overlook that. Or maybe we really align ourselves with that. Anyway. And then of course, how long until we actually have with this theocracy, with these Christo-fascist, devil worshippers? How long will it be until they actually have witch hunts like it's the 1680s again? Because we got to go back in time to find who we really are. So we got to burn witches at the stake. Anyway, I say that because, of course, Trump calling this shit that we all know is not a witch hunt. Again, the producers of fake news are the ones that called everybody fake news producers. And now even some of the not very smart people who believe that are like, oh, wait, that may not be true because you know what I mean? Like you're the ones making the fake news. Because like right now, it's so obvious when you see this thing. It's like everyone knows the truth. It was texts. We can read them. We know the truth. And yet you lie. So yeah, Trump just called all that a witch hunt, which is just stupid. And that is it. Let's see. What else? Oh, one lady who studies Civil War, which was the thing I didn't want to talk about earlier. But the one positive thing she said was that peaceful protests work. They have the effect you would want them to. So keep peacefully protesting, I guess, is the... All right, so I'm starving. And I'm going to go in the kitchen. And if you saw, I made a video, a couple of them, I think, of, anyway, one long one, protracted, making brownies and banana bread, both of which with added walnuts, Kula strawberries, local Maui apple bananas, and organic blueberries, right? To both mixes. And then I made 100% brownie that I consumed already. And then I made 100% banana bread, which is in the freezer. And then I made one that was brownie, and then I poured banana bread in the middle and displaced it. So it's a combination of banana bread and brownies. And the brownies again have blueberries, bananas, and strawberries, and chocolate bar, and the walnuts added, and extra eggs. And then there's all the same stuff without the chocolate and the banana bread. So it's this combination loaf. And what I can imagine myself doing is seeing if it'll soak up any egg whites, to make it sort of like French toast. Sauteing it on both sides. And then taking some blueberries and sauteing those, warming them up, putting a little bit of butter in there, and then pouring that on top of them. A lot of sugar in this dish, but a lot of very healthy things too. They say their blueberries is good for you. So, amongst other things. So that's one of the things I want to do. And then maybe cook up some veggies and some fish or some venison. And I'm just hungry. So I'm just going to start cooking a bunch of stuff and put the camera on the food. And that's what I'm going to do. And the greater message with me cooking is that there's no rules. It's just a great way to do whatever the hell you want in life. It's one place where freedom is pure. You can do whatever. You do not have to follow any rules in the kitchen. You can make it up as you go. In fact, when I was doing the brownie mix retrospectively, I forgot to add oil, and it came out okay. Which is one of the things, like in the box, it says, you got to add eggs and oil and water or milk. And I just didn't put any oil in, and they weren't bad. But you know, with some olive oil or coconut oil, it might have been better. And that's just another healthy element you can put into your brownies. Cheers. This is my super black coffee, like a Republican's soul. Look, it matches my shirt. That's the color of a Republican soul right there. Black, dark as night. Because I see that as a problem in the future if we're lucky enough to live long enough, get to the point where, you know, Republicans obfuscate the reality by blaming all the problems on the now, at the time in the future, dead Donald Trump, or removed once Elon Musk is gone, they can just blame everything on him, and not, you know, or just keep blaming Joe Biden, right? Just gonna keep doing. I wonder how many. This will be something to watch, right? How many months, years into this Trump failure will we see them blaming Trump's failures on Joe Biden? Oh my God. Oh my God. And there's people that so stupid they believe shit like that. That's the best part. But I think there's less and less of them. And God dang it. Oh man, I'm watching a baby whale breach next to its mama or dad. No, two baby whales breaching, or the same one just going nuts. Oh God, I gotta get off this camera, out this house, get out on the ocean, and make you some movies. I'm gonna do that. I promise. Making these shows represents an accomplishment in my day, and any accomplishment leads to other accomplishments, and so that's what's generally happening, and that's why I decided to do this too. And I don't know how often I'm gonna call it the Daily Show, you know, another daily show, but maybe every other day or once a week. But I'm going to try to do news that isn't all the really bad Republican, bad news. You know what I mean? The god-awful news, which is another focus entirely. And it's the weekend, so things are kind of chilling. Weekend might be the most appropriate time to do something like this. But who knows? This is all just an experiment in process. Oh, by the way, I communicated with Tennessee Brando some more. We're in a full conversation with each other. The funny thing is, I was like, you know, I don't get out much. I won't talk to anybody. And I gave him my life story like some weirdo, you know. But he put up with it, and it's kind of funny. So, but I'm in communication with him, and maybe one of these days he might reference one of my dream is that he'll like do another thing about how Joe Rogan is falling behind, and he'll show my video of me saying, I'll never listen to or watch Joe Rogan again. Oh, it makes me so happy. But literally, I think one little mention on Midas Touch could be really helpful for my channel as far as, yeah, anyway. We'll see. It's just exciting because I really like Midas Touch, and now that they've just become they dominated Joe Rogan by 2 times. Like, they're just stepping on him, and Joe Rogan keeps doing stupid fucking right wingers on his channel, and just saying stupid shit. He didn't used to be so stupid. It's truly amazing. I don't know how that happens. Yeah. So. Tennessee Brando is hella cool, and he really, like, I don't know how you do it. I mean, he's got to have so many people sending him messages that he converses with, that he's meeting on the side. He really cares. Like, he's the most kind, caring person. Like, I don't have that kind of a patience tolerance to be able to like interact with people that are watching my channel that much as he does. I mean, I could do better at it. And he'd be a good like guy to look up to in that respect. But it's truly remarkable how he's talking to me. And I mean, I've written a couple thousand words to him already, and I think he read them all and responded, and then wrote another paragraph back. And anyway, so that's just kind of cool, you know. A guy like that, like if I went to Tennessee and could get on stage doing comedy, and he mentioned me, beforehand, like that would literally set the show on fire. So anyway, amongst other things, it's cool. Oh man, so that's just interesting. A little side note, because I'm constantly like trying to send messages up the chain, hoping someone will notice me. Hey, check out my channel. You might like this video. Check out that 12 minutes of stand-up comedy. Check out like Tennessee Brando, right? I got a video from Maple Motors in Tennessee, the car lot, from the best rest area in the United States of America, the one in Bristol, Tennessee. If you didn't know it, best rest area in America. I have a video of that. I did a video from Nashville, a bar called the Grandpa Bar, doing stand-up comedy, and that was cool. After that one, a guy said, "Man, you remind me of Mitch Hedberg," and I'm like, "Oh my God, that is the greatest compliment, literally, I could ever get." That's anyway. So and then what I think I did, I got other videos. Oh, and then I got a joke. Oh, I got a joke. This is my special joke for the day. It's a Tennessee joke. It's a joke I've forgotten to tell. I think I forgot to tell this in Tennessee. In addition to it being funny, that the international poop chart is called the Bristol Poop Chart, from Bristol, Tennessee. If you didn't know, every sane human's goal every day without knowing it is to have a Bristol 4. But aside from that, okay, so if you're driving across the United States of America, and if you're eating really unhealthy food, going through the drive-through in any or all of the various drive-thrus you could go to, like I was doing at the time, in Tennessee. Oh, by the way, Tennessee does have maybe the lowest price of gas in the country. One of them. There's just a couple spots where it's just a little lower than everywhere else, even where it's low. And Tennessee is that place. Oh, I did another one from Buc-ee's there. The largest one of all the Buc-ee's, 74,000 square foot Buc-ee's. They all have 120 gas pumps. Can you believe that? It's amazing. Anyway, all right. So if you drive through drive-thrus all over the country, you get your food and it's all normal. It's its own normal one-way experience. And then you go to Tennessee and it's a different experience. In Tennessee, and this happened 3 times in a row. It's great, and it's a compliment to the people of Tennessee. So I'm there at, you name it, man, a McDonald's, a Hardee's, a Jack in the Box, whatever it was, and I order my food, and then the sweet lady on the intercom says, "That'll be $12.74, sweetheart." And I was like, "What? Did she call me sweetheart?" You might have been called that in the past more commonly, by somebody. Anyway, so you're like, holy shit, a little bit mystified. Like, did I really hear that? And that felt good. It feels good. It feels good when a lady calls you sweetheart. I'm just saying. Us men are a slave for a little niceness like that. Then I got up to the register, and I got my food. I paid her, and then her parting words were, "Have a good day, sweetheart." Right? And it is enjoyable and both true to tell you that if you drive, and that happened 3 times, 3 different drive-thrus. If you drive through Tennessee, if you go to a fast food restaurant, you will get 2 sweethearts with every meal. All right, that's just a fact. It's just the truth, and it's cool. I enjoyed it. Made me feel good. Okay, just made me feel good. Doesn't take much. But yeah. So if you're driving through Tennessee, don't be surprised if the sweet lady in the drive-thru calls you sweetheart. Happened to me every single time. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. Ugh. And I need to heat up my. If Tennessee Brando's watching this, I told, "Hey man, come out with your wife. I got an extra car. I got this extra bedroom. Your own private bathroom. Free vacation. Come on out. Make content out here." Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Good times. Tell you what. Let me get a few things going here. Whew. Tell you what. Okay. So first, there's this. See, we're gonna get into this. See, that's a hybrid. It's a chocolate brownie on the bottom and banana bread on the top. And all of it is infused with blueberries, walnuts, apple bananas, and Kula strawberries. Hella cool. All right, we'll just pull that out, you know. Check this out. Egg whites at Walmart, not Walmart, Costco, who kept their DEI. God bless Costco. 6 of these bad boys, right? Each one of them is 16 ounces for $11. So it's like $1.85 for a pint of egg whites, which I find soak up. They're kind of more watery than your average eggs you might whip up, and so they soak up like they soaked up in the sourdough English muffins I was making before. Maybe I'll do that again. Who knows right now? Okay, that's better. Lighting is a little bit obnoxious, isn't it? Okay. All right, that's better. Okay, and then, all right. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? Okay, we got some fish. Got some Ono. That comes from Costco. But seriously, that's pretty good. I never bought egg whites before, so I am learning new things because I'm using something I've never used before. Thanks to the egg crisis, which, you know, if we'd had a half decent person in charge, instead of alienating and threatening war with all of our allies, including the ones at our borders, we could have tried to make friends and say, hey, you got any extra eggs over there in Mexico? What about you, Canada? You got any extra eggs we could borrow? You know, we probably could have got some help, right? If we'd been a friendly nation. Anyway, got this garlic. Yeah, we can get some garlic out. I've had this garlic marinating in balsamic vinegar, a little bit of the old brine from these kosher dills, oregano, and some apple cider vinegar. So kind of, anyway, making it fun. And then, I got some sprouts and I got some bok choy. We gotta make some with that. And I got some mushrooms. Gotta use those up. And medium chain triglycerides. If you don't know, the healthiest trifecta of foods: omega-3s, medium chain triglycerides, sulforaphane. Sulforaphane, what's that? That's the special ingredient in bok choy and all cruciferous vegetables. That is like the cure for everything. If noni won't cure it, sulforaphane will. Okay. Got some tomatoes I gotta use up. What else? Let's have fun with pesto. There's pretty much nothing that pesto isn't good with, except, I don't think I'd put it on my brownies. But just about everything else. So let's see what else. You know what? Check it out. Try this thing out. Although I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, I talked about this thing I saw on NPR the other day about how plastic is really bad in packaging and so on, foods. But especially there was an emphasis on foods that are heated up. I don't think I mentioned that, but foods that are heated up in plastic. Like, just don't do that, okay? So anyway, this is cauliflower rice, but made into like a stir fry. So we'll have fun with that. And then more, and then a cruciferous vegetable as well with sulforaphane in it. This is just cauliflower. So throw that in there because we need to eat cruciferous vegetables. And again, those things are from Costco, who supports DEI, and whose stock price is probably not going to suffer. But maybe it will also. Anyway, what else? Oh yeah, and then let's get out these blueberries. We're going to saute up some blueberries with some butter. We got to get the butter out. Where's the butter? Got a little butter here? We don't need much butter. We don't want to totally stop our heart too quickly. One thing Bill Burr was right about, was like, guys my age, any moment I could die. So if I die on camera, it's because I'm 56 years old. Could happen any moment. Maybe I'll live 40 more years. Maybe I'll die 60 seconds from now. I have no idea. But, I can hope for the best. Try to eat the right foods. Try not to drink or smoke too much. I was thinking I should probably start smoking less. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right. So, let's get some pans out here. Apply some heat to them. Again, there's no rules in the kitchen, ever. You never have to follow rules. It's the best place in the world. Let's see, what do we got? We'll get that out. Let's see here. Let's get some pans out here. Let's just heat up and cook everything. Alright. Good times. Don't mind me using the shirt to dry the bottom of the pan. My shirt's going straight into the wash. All right, I'm gonna go get I need a towel. All right, towel. Oh, I want to show off this too again. This is my great-great-grandma, Virginia Shearer Bradley. She was elected to office in 1881, April 6th, to the Board of Education in Nevada City, California. Her husband drew the first city map, was the first surveyor. And many of my movies, and one of them that he made, he was the movie maker. That's my dad. That's Frederick Wortham Bradley. Mount Bradley in Alaska is named after him. One of the greatest businessmen in American history, and the greatest mining engineer in American history. You may not have heard of him, but that's just, long before, this was 1933, when these two were still alive, and they both died real soon. So yeah, mountain named after him. That's in Alaska. There's a book in Idaho called The Sketch Portraits of the Men Who Made Idaho. Chapter 2 is Frederick Wortham Bradley. This is Frederick Wortham Bradley Jr., who took all these pictures, made these movies, and he is an artist. He also was a cartoonist, and I never knew any of them. Of course, my dad turned out to be a narcissist because he grew up with all this wealth and spoiled, and I guess being spoiled is a thing. So, which is why none of this vast family wealth trickled down to me. Zero generational wealth from this family to me. In any case, but this is the mansion at 2716 Pacific Avenue that's gone. That's featured, and the front yard of it's featured, the backyard, the driveway. There's that one before they go on the Panama Canal cruise in 1932. They show the totality of the house. He has to pan it's a moving picture, but he has to pan for a few seconds to get across the whole building. But that's the front entrance. But she is pretty amazing. She lived till she was like 90 years of age right there. So, yeah, and then her brother was Daredevil George. I told that story. He saved like 15 people's life, and was quite the interesting character who escaped a Washington D.C. prison. He was fought for the Civil War, and then he knew the people who were responsible for killing Lincoln or something like that. Then he ended up in the California and Idaho, and then in the Nez Perce War. Anyway, that's her brother, Daredevil George. It's interesting, but that's the artist. And he left behind, I just took 6,000 pictures of his, 6,000 pictures from around the world. A lot of them are little black and whites, but still, not too many people were making movies or taking pictures back then. So, and he traveled the whole world. I mean, it's so cool. And I'll try to get more of those movies up. The last one, no one's really seen, but it's really interesting because the last one I put up is of that fancy house, right? A party inside of it, a Hawaiian themed party in 1937. And of course, there's somebody dressed up as a missionary. Hello. And someone in blackface, you know, as a Polynesian blackface, which, you know, isn't so cool anymore, but it's just interesting. And then we used to feed the bears in Yosemite and Yellowstone, and it shows a little bit of a bear feeding in Yosemite. And so that it's an interesting little video that I posted most recently, but only, I think it's been seen 50 times. Very few people have seen it, but I think it's very interesting. Anyway, all right. Let's start cooking. Okay, all right. I got my towel. Hard for me to do two things at once. You know, when you got 3 brain cells doing all this work, it's not easy. All right, let's put that one there. Let's get this one, put this one here. And let's put this one here. All right, we got some surfaces to cook on. And do we need another one? Let's just see if we can fit that. I don't know. All right. Okay. Let's get cooking. All right. Remember, no rules. If you want to be a rebel, cook food. Because you can do whatever you want all the time. Okay. Just start turning on some heat. Oh, let's get a couple eggs out. A couple eggs. Oh, and an onion or two. Okay, eggs, onion. Oh, onion right here. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. I think we're ready. Okay, so let's do the brownie thing, and let's get the camera going. Yeah, in fact, you know what? This little pan might work best for the whole brownie thing because it'll soak up. So what I'm going to do is put some, here, let's get the camera. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing, and then I'll move it down there. So I'm going to put some butter in the pan. You get some butter going in the pan, even though it's a non-stick surface. Yeah, it's breakfast, so it's got to have a little butter. All right, so we got that going. And then we're going to take this, and again, I'll put the camera down here and let you watch it. I'm going to take this banana bread brownie, oh my God, with all this fruit and these walnuts in it. So good, so good. And that by itself could be a good time. And you know, that was a pretty big discovery. I made a video of it. Discovering that you can add goat cheese to brownies. Oh my God, it was so good. Who knew? And that's the beauty of cooking. It's always like you just can have fun, experimenting, finding new things you like by just asking the question, what if, right? Okay. All right, let's get it. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. All right. Oh, I wish I could sing. That'd be a cool talent to have, wouldn't it? Being able to sing. Just being able to think of a note and then sing it. Hella cool. That's what that would be. All right. All right. Okay, I think I can move it in and point it down. All right, let's get down on that. Or maybe I'll turn it around. I can see it from the other side. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. I can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, let's get some heat on this bugger right here. Get some heat. We'll get some heat on there. We got some butter in there. And then we're going to take this amazing, wonderful thing. And let's do this. Maybe like that, and maybe like that. Okay, let's see if we can get these out in one piece. All right, we'll put that there. Oh, let's take the heat off for a second. Well, we just give it a second. We're gonna, that banana bread, it wants to fall apart, doesn't it? All right, so let's put more in there. Let's fill the pan and then add egg whites with the hopes that this acts like a sponge. Although, boy, it's just breaking up on me. It's pretty, it's almost solid, but where it's breaking apart. Nice thing about eggs is it'll help bring this back together. Potentially. Oh boy, that's a stubborn one there. But look, egg whites is in those nooks and crannies. Fill in the holes. We'll fill the holes with egg whites. All right. All right. All right, there you go. Good time. Now, let's hope that it soaks some of this up. So it's kind of like French toast-ish, a little bit. See how watery it is? It's just great if you want something to soak up some eggs. It's my new discovery. My new culinary discovery. Always finding out new things because I'm trying them out. I'm always doing something different. And you just keep learning new stuff in the kitchen this way. Again, don't be afraid to cook for yourself, for anybody. That is my message. Because really, there's nothing that will increase the quality of your life like cooking for yourself. The only way you can control the ingredients going into your body, right? The only way to know what you're eating and to save just enormous amounts of money, time and inconvenience. When someone else cooks your food, you still gotta, well, I mean, maybe not. You can have it ordered in, but in the old days, I guess you'd still have to go out and get it. And it'd probably take more time than it would to just stay home and cook it. Anyway, all right, well, that's exciting. So we're just gonna let that start cooking. It's our egg white, French toast-ish, banana bread brownie. All right, and then alongside that, let's make a topping. All right, boom, boom, boom. All right, what do we got here? What do we got here? We got some blueberries. Oops. All right. Because generally speaking, it's pretty well agreed. It's agreed by all. There's bipartisan agreement. Blueberries are good for you. What do you say? I have some. If that was you saying I gotta go, have a great day. I didn't read all of it, but I tried. Okay, and then we got the kind. Put a little butter in there. Let's put some butter in there. You know what I mean? Not a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot of butter. A little bit of butter. All right. All right. Now that's what we're gonna do here, and that's exciting. Okay, now let's get some more food cooking. Okay. Is this all right? Yes. Good times. Oh. Get the cutting board out. Boom, boom. All right, let's get to work on these buggers right here. Mushrooms. Some mushrooms. All right. Good times, bam, chicka bam bam. All right. And, oh, okay, all right. All right. Oh, I wish you could smell this. I tell you what, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. We got mushrooms. Tell you what, pretty good time. All right, let's keep on it. What's next? Let's use all these that I can use up. We have little tomatoes. Little tomatoes. Little tomatoes. What is going on over here? What's going on over here? Does anybody know? I'll tell you what. It's pretty exciting is what it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so that's exciting. Okay, let's get back over here. Let's get down on it. We just want these covered one time so that they're opened up. So the juices can flow, and tomato juices such a good time. I don't know if there's much, you know, much better. Now, if you can't tell, I'm cooking with love, so if you get all emotional too, you're not the only one. Of course, that's a reference to the movie Like Water for Chocolate, aforementioned movie. But if you're gonna cook, man, you know, I recommend you know, put a little love in there. That's what this is right here. That's what you're looking at. This is love and cooking at the same time. Oh my God. Brownie and banana bread in the same. Oh. If that doesn't say passion, I don't know what does. And then turn it into French toast, and then topping it with blueberries. Oh, it's gonna be great. Ooh, what if we topped it with blueberries and goat cheese? That would be just crazy. You know what I mean? Crazy. Can you see what I do still? Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, we're running out of power. How much power we got? 20%. Okay, we got 20% power. If I forget about that, and it ends, that's why. That's a little squishy. All right. All right. Good times, you guys. Good times. All right, let's get that in there. Let's get that in there. Just like that. Okay. All right, now we got tomatoes and mushrooms in there. And, oh, let's get that bok choy. Bok choy. Now, if you don't know the local people here, something you can assume in Hawaii is that everybody loves bok choy. Okay? Now you know. And it's a cruciferous vegetable. Oh my God. Coolest kind of vegetable ever. Those cruciferous vegetables. Then also, by the way, if you're a diabetic, that's what you're supposed to eat. If you want to, you know, reverse the process of being a diabetic, that's what you're supposed to eat. In case you haven't seen those videos. Okay. All right, we're having a good time now. Woo. Tell you what. All right, now let's flip that. This is probably good enough here. What are we doing here? Off. Okay. These are lovely. There. Let's move this here and that there. And let's go like this. Okay, so now, wow, it's like one big pancake. Let's see if I can get it. Woo, baby, look at that. Look at that. It's like one giant over easy egg with a little extra brown on it. Pretty sweet. And there it is. Oh boy, that's gonna be cool. Like that in a pan. Okay, so probably turn that heat off. It'll finish itself up. There's enough heat there to get her all the way home. In fact, maybe we'll start moving things around. Move that off the front burner. Put it on the back burner. Literally and metaphorically. Okay. All right. Now, why not just get let's get some heat on these veggies here. Move that over there. Let's accommodate the space. Okay. And where's that there olive oil? That's always, you know, we all know olive oil is good for us now, right? Everyone knows about the olive oil. And let's just soak it, because olive oil is supposed to be good for you, they say. You know? Slick up your insides. All right. Let's get some of this garlic I got marinating. Let's get this in there. All right. Good times right here. And this right here, just another thing I just did as an experiment. Just putting garlic cloves into a solution. Balsamic vinegar, oregano. Alright. And it's partway pickled. So yummy. In fact, let's take some of that juju. You know, the juju. Just put some of that in there. And let's put all that in there. Alright. Maybe some more. When in doubt, more garlic, always. Pretty sure whatever things are in me that are maybe gonna kill me someday are gonna kill me slower if I eat this shit right here. But also, of course, in addition to the regions where people consume medium chain triglycerides, the people, places where people live till they're 100 or more, the places where people eat a lot of garlic, also, people live a long time. Oh yeah. Oh, don't want to forget about this, that, or the other thing. Okay. So. Oh, and onions. Can't forget about them there, onions. Alright. Here. Who cares if there's a little blueberry on that spatula? Okay. Oh, some cruciferous vegetables. Some cauliflower. But it's kind of like rice. It's kind of like rice, but it's cauliflower. Alright, that's exciting. Let's get some heat going now. Let's get a little bubble on there. Get everything. Alright, good times. Oh my goodness. So much to look forward to. I'm starving. So that's cool. Alright. Now, we need to get that onion. Onion's going to take up a lot of space. Thing is, this is going to cook down, right? So. Alright, if no one ever taught you, if you never had a chef yell at you, tell you how to cut an onion. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yeah, okay. Well, I did. I had a chef. I was 16 years old. York Derf chef in the bar at the Velvet Turtle. And I had a guy show me this. Okay. One, you go down like that, right? And then you come in like this. Right? That was just my fingers. So, and that's it right there, right? And then bam, 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 bam. Everything's perfectly diced. As you know, I dice my onions. I don't mince my onions or my words. Oh man, that rich sense of humor. That's why you're watching this. Okay. All right. So much fun. A lot of beautiful stuff going on in there. A lot of colors of the rainbow. Oh, you know what else I got in here? How's it doing? Might be bad. I had it a little too long, I think. Yep, I have. Okay, that's all right. All right. Oh my God, we're having so much fun. We're having so much. Is there anything in life more fun than watching that nourishment come about? All right, now we'll cut this one up a little differently. We'll just give it a that out of this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice thing is this will actually all cook down. There's a lot of water in here. Beautiful though. Me loves a big pan of veggies, you know. What a great way to dilute the meat you want to eat, you know, and to make the veggies taste good because you mix it with meat, and then you make the meat taste good because you mix it with veggies. Of course, you don't have to add meat, but when you're eating meat, and if your proteins are at a premium, you know, sometimes the cost of your proteins can be at a premium. You get some tortillas, you know, the good deal on tortillas from Costco, 30-cent tortillas. You start mixing your meat with some very affordable veggies, and next thing you know, costs you $2.50 for a filet mignon burrito. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or whatever. We got some Ono from Costco. Still haven't even gotten into our pesto. Oh my God. And we still gotta add this. This is our stir fry. And we're gonna put some eggs in there too for more nourishment. We just, well, let's put some of that in there right now. Why not? We'll just you know, a little bit of egg whites in there for the fun of it. We'll add some more in a little while, but you know, because there's no rules. That's what we're doing here. And then I think I'm gonna add some chop suey mix. Chop suey, chop suey. Can't find broccoli sprouts on the west side of Maui anywhere, so I don't have any broccoli sprouts. Oh, all right. So much fun. Okay, so let's make breakfast. Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun. All right. All right, I'm not gonna eat all this, but I'm gonna plate it all up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one meal. Put the plate over like this, right? And then just flip them. Boom. Pow, like that. There it is. Okay, put that off to the side. All right, and then what we're gonna do here is take that. You know what? Let's heat that up and add a little bit of butter. Let's add a little bit of butter to that. Loosen it up a bit. All right. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, good times right there. Okay. We gotta figure it out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So much fun. You ready for this? Oh my God. Are you getting emotional? Me too. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. Whoa. Tell you what. I'll tell you what. Oh my God. What am I gonna do? I wonder if that'll be good. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? So much nutrition. We got blueberries and strawberries and bananas and walnuts, egg whites, and a little bit of some other stuff too that's pretty yummy. So I gotta find a spoon because I don't want to eat that with a fork. No way. I'll spoon that baby. All right. Okay, yeah, let's try that. Let's see what that's all about. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God. Yeah. You don't want me to cook for you. No, you would hate it, I think, pretty much. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to subject yourself to this. This is This is hard. So hard. How do I force myself to eat it? All right. And that's what you get for being patient enough to wait. I often am not patient enough to wait. I say that because I never wait. I just do something really fast, stick it in the microwave. But today we're doing our homework. That's what this is right here. With food, you gotta do prep work. You gotta do your homework, right? These veggies could last me several days, and all I'll have to do is add cheese, and I got a meal. Because if you don't know it, I'm on a very special diet called the Add Cheese Diet. I add cheese to everything, and it makes it better. And that is, I'm working on a cookbook called the Add Cheese Cookbook. It's gonna be really good. Oh my God. All this goodness, this good health. With a healthy complement of garlic and onions, which just makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. All right, so we'll let that just keep doing its thing. Sneak over here for a bite of that. Oh my God. Oh, gee whiz. Oh my goodness. Forget about it. Forget about it. Get out of here. Get out of town. That shit's so good. Oh my God. And now it no longer lives just in my mind, which is where that was living before I created it. It was just this thought. Oh, here we go. All right. And more cauliflower rice with some other ingredients. They call this stir fry, but whatever. Close enough. Interesting nonetheless. Look at that. Now we got carrots and peas in there too. Oh gee whiz. Carrots and peas. Peas and carrots. That's like how that's how we get along on this channel. Like peas and carrots. Okay, we got heat. All right, we'll just let that do its thing. All right. Oh, how do I not want to get back into this? Oh my God. Seriously. Oh, I wish I could share this with somebody. My goodness. And good. Oh, what? We're at 10%? 10% battery. Good. And good for you. Right there, baby. All that and a bag of chips. Okay, let's do something else now, same time. As a compliment to what we're already doing. All right. Let's, on that note of what I was just previously talking about, let's get that hot. Let's get it hot and let's add fish. Let's get a fish thing going here. Bingo. Fish in the pan. All right, another piece of fish in the pan. All right. Of course, a fish is not going to mind a little butter, cooking in a little butter. Good place to put that last little bit of butter. And it's also a good place for this right here, this juju. All the flavors, right? There's all these flavors down in this pan. Let's start scooping those out, these liquids. Start pouring that over the fish here. Right now we're adding some fun flavor. Some fun flavor, getting some of the liquids out of one pan. Making a sauce to cook in. Totally awesome. And that's all just juice from vegetables. So super awesome. All right. And then, oh, and let's put in some olive oil too, because that's good with everything. Booyah. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, pretty much. I think you can. All right, good times. Yeah, you got everything in there. You see a little this, that, and the other thing. Okay. And then what else? Because cooking fish is easy. You just put it in a pan, turn it on. And then, you know what? I got this mix here. I took some soy sauce and added garlic and onions and some oregano. So put a little soy sauce, a little salt in there, you know. Oh, my special soy sauce. All right, we are having a good time. Flavors abound. Healthy ingredients everywhere. This might just keep me from dying in the next 20 minutes. I'm hoping, you know. But be really great for my views, you know, if I died on camera. Any day now. All right. Oh my God! The colors, the flavors, so fantastic, so fantastic. All right, this is cooking, and the cool thing is these have like 3 sides, so you can just there's one side, and there's the other side. We'll just move it from side to side. We'll reach in here, take another bite, make a little love. Get down tonight. Oh God. How I endure my own cooking. I don't know how I do it because, you know, I'm such a terrible cook. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm making messes. All right. Oh. Okay, so let's see. Where are we at in this process, this creative process? So exciting. You know what? Let's cook the eggs. Let's cook the eggs in here with a fish in it, because there's not a lot of room in this pan over here. Cook up some eggs, right? Which might be the inclination. So let's crack. We got a couple of eggs. We're gonna crack them like this, like that. Boom, boom. Okay, we got 2 eggs in there. At this point, they're sunny side up. And let's put some egg whites in there, you know. Make a little party. Egg party. Because what we're doing here is we're adding nutrition. That's what we're doing. Adding nutrition. We all know eggs are good for us. They're nutritious. Blueberries, cruciferous vegetables, fish. Now this is Ono, also known as wahoo, in Mexico. It is one of the fastest swimming fish in the world. Swims over 30 miles an hour. It's built like a bullet. And it is a firm fish. Very clean. Such a clean fish, you can eat it raw. This is one of the things like ahi tuna you can eat raw. You can make a poke out of Ono. It's such a good fish. They're such a good predator. You know, they speak. You know, that makes their fish good, I guess. And great for grilling. Probably makes the best fish tacos. Really, just the best grilling fish, probably. The whole world, right there, right there. The world's best grilling fish. Fresh Ono. All right. You heard it here. Okay, oh my goodness, this is just so much fun at the same time. And this will lead to many healthy meals. Many, many. I got some ground venison I can mix with this. I can mix it with that. It's as good as it gets. You know what I mean? It's good as it gets. But of course, the best thing, bastards. What was I gonna say? I don't know. All right, now at what point? Let's see how we doing over here. These eggs starting to cook yet? A little bit, a little bit. All right. Well, maybe I put this up here. All right, let's see maybe if I turn the heat on. All right, eggs are cooking. Oh yeah. And you can cook fish so easy. You can cook it in bacon in the oven. You can saute it. You can cook it in some liquids like I'm doing here. There's no wrong way to cook fish, really. By golly, you know what I mean? All right, we're having a good time. And we want a lot of this moisture to cook out, but I think we're pretty close to, you know, everything's definitely had some chance to get some heat to it, you know, all the mushrooms, etc. All right, so before we finish this, what we're gonna do, I'm literally, I think, just gonna put this pan in the fridge. But let's just let's turn it up to 11. We're gonna turn this up to 11. How you gonna do that, Craig? How you gonna turn it up to 11? I'm gonna have pesto, baby. All right, here we go. Pesto. Oh yeah, baby. Turning it up to 11. That's what's going on here. Right? Because there's no rules, man. We just do whatever we want in this kitchen, and this looks pretty good to me. Does that look good to you? My goodness. Okay. Yeah, baby. It's almost like a pizza. All right. And that's how we're going to just finish it for now. And let it cool off. And, of course, I haven't eaten this, so I don't need to eat this. But it would be good for me if I did. Okay. Oops. Oh, dropping stuff. Okay, here we go. And let's finish this up. All right, the eggs are cooked. That's cool. So let's put the eggs right in there. Just pop down right in there. Totally cool. And we got our fish cooking. And what I like to do, just right here in the pan, you know, it's just bust it up into pieces with my spatula. Because this is all going to just be mixed with that and who knows what else. So I'll get in here and start whacking pieces off. That sounds pretty good, huh? I'm just whacking pieces off here. That's what That's what I do in my kitchen. I whack pieces off all day long. Just a whacking away here. That's what we do at All Good Things and All Good Time. Just like Moses Mike Johnson and National Security Advisor, they're just whacking pieces off. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Let me make that clear. All right. If you are whacking pieces off right now, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Are we having fun? All right. And then just give it a little this, a little that. And in the end, what we'll have here is a bunch of nice little pieces of Ono. Then we can mix some of this in. We just throw that right in here, and Shazam pow! We can have this amazing meal. We could put it in a burrito, add cheese. Could eat it straight, dare I say, without cheese. Dare I say. Oh. Okay, all right. There it is. Whew. Tell you what. And Ono cooks up just beautiful, to a beautiful white color as well, which is just a cool thing about the fish. Again, a clean fish. All right. All right, okay, there it is. Shazam, all right. And then we'll get this right here, and we'll just take a wedge, like a pizza. Shazam, look at that. Bam. You know what I mean? Shazam, pow, woo. All right. And then we'll take that. And we'll, little toss it over the sink. All right. All right. And we toss that salad. It's looking pretty good. All right. Could obviously add more veggies, which I will. But for now, this is all a bunch of fun stuff to stick in the fridge. I think I've had enough to eat of that. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, let's go this way. Wow. There it is. Oh yeah, there it is. Thanks for watching me cook. Again, if there's any lessons learned here, be rebellious. Do whatever you want. Apply heat to food in any way, any food. Mix it up. Have a good time. Try to eat healthy things and find ways to make healthy things taste good, right? Which is basically what is always my basic goal in life. How can I make something taste really good that's going to help me live, if all goes well, an extra 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Who knows? Maybe not. But I believe in hedging your bet, right? You got to hedge your bet because life is short. So eat healthy, try to exercise, get good rest. Don't do things that are bad for your conscience. And, thanks for watching. Do no harm, do no crime. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time and the not necessarily bad news variety show, which is what it became. All right, do no harm, do no crime.